back to Brake Check. It's been a little while since we've done this, but we're excited to be back with a new updated format. We're producing shorter videos going forward in an effort to keep this thing moving. It's a lot of work to make these, but we're happy to bring you another side of our team and want to do this new format with special guest Russ Simon. So I'll give you a quick bio on Russ. Russ started with Styer back in 1988. He's going into his 33rd year now. He's our Vice President of Operations. He grew up around this business with his family. Of course, things were a lot different back then. Technology has changed the game a lot here. At Styer, Russ maintains the equipment, helps with the long-range planning, dispatches drivers, and overall keeps this business running operationally. So outside of trucking, Russ is a big fan of golf, music, the outdoors. He's known to fish, hunt, and hike, and likes to travel in general. So I know I want to talk outside of Styer, but for those new drivers, give them a quick idea of how you got your start here at Styer, please, Russ.
Yeah, well, my dad was in trucking. My dad was the terminal manager at Lakeville Motor Express up in Roseville when I was in school, and that's what I grew up with, was him traveling up to Roseville every day. I graduated high school in 1988, and my dad asked me if I wanted to, come along board with him at Styer. Styer was operating under the same building as Lakeville Motor Express at the time, but in October of '88, we split off and we moved to our own building down in Shakopee. Prior to that, I was I was kind of a hands-on guy, stacking pallets. That's how I originally started driving up to Roseville and stacking empty John Deere pallets. I did that when I was about 16 and 17 before I graduated high school, and so I guess I got started on the ground floor for sure.
So like most young people, was it fair to say it's the grunt work? It's some of that heavy lifting and carve a little niche and get it in around the business and found that was something you wanted to do. Did you like the iron and the trucking part of things?
I had two brothers that were truck drivers that were driving for my dad at the time, and I kind of didn't want to be a truck driver. I just I wasn't comfortable driving even with a boat, so my skill level wasn't very good. I have a lot of appreciation for what our drivers do because I know how hard it is. So I didn't think I was going to be a truck driver, but I kind of wanted to be in the business somehow. And when my dad gave me the opportunity to start in the office and kind of work side by side with him, because it was just us two at the time, I jumped at that chance.
Wow, well, I didn't know it was just you two. I thought
Yep.
there was a little bit more support. So you really were on the foundation of Styer.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, great.
Yep. Mel was our third employee. So.
And so Dad was a huge influence on your trucking, getting into this business. I mean, without that LME piece, who knows? You probably wouldn't have been a driver, but maybe you would have figured out that boat thing. I know that came around at some point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. I have a couple questions outside of Styer stuff. I know that you've traveled quite a bit. Some of our drivers might not be aware of where have you traveled. So could you talk a little bit about some of those places you've been to?
Yeah, my wife and I both like to travel. We haven't traveled a whole lot abroad. We've done a couple of the spring break trips to Mexico and Dominican Republic. I'm not a big fan of those kind of trips. My kids sure like them sitting around the beach, but yeah. I love to go to Yellowstone, Black Hills. We did an East Coast trip one time where we covered like 17 states. We drove from here all the way out to Maine and back, and been out to Washington driving. Just love to drive and see the country. So anytime I get a chance to leave with the car, we do that. I think there's only about 5 states that we haven't seen in a car. And so we hope to get those filled up here in the near future.
Yeah, that leads into my next question. Where do you want to go next?
Well, we did have one great big trip to Peru. I was able to go see Machu Picchu, actually with somebody who lived in Peru and still had family in Peru. So it was like having a tour guide with us the whole time. So that was awesome. But as far as places I still want to see, I'd like to see Alaska. Hawaii hopefully is on the list for next year. My wife and I are celebrating our 30th anniversary, and
Nice.
we're planning a trip to Hawaii next year. And then I want to see a castle. I haven't seen a castle, so I'd like to go to Italy, Germany, some of those European countries over there.
Wow, very cool. I didn't know you're maybe into castles, medieval times. So okay,
Yeah, I like history.
You mentioned Machu Picchu in Peru. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that on Facebook I have seen a photo of you in full Sherpa garb, and no bones about it. And maybe I can overlay this just to share it with the viewers at home what I'm talking about. But it kind of leads into my next question. I've seen you in a couple just strange outfits. What is the strangest outfit you've worn for a holiday party or for a gathering or Halloween? I've seen some things, and I can share with an overlay, but
yeah, my kids kind of egg me on, and my wife kind of eggs me on, but I'm usually a willing person to do that. But my wife and I, when we both turned 40, we had an 80s party, and
okay.
so I got to dress up like I guess you'd say a rock star, and had the spandex pants and the wig and everything, because my hair doesn't flow as much as it used to when I was in school. So
I know that feeling. Yes.
I think I was Mr. Incredible one year for Halloween. My dog was Jack, so that was kind of fun.
I think that's the kind of confidence as a father to two young kids I hope I will willingly embrace in the near future. I was wondering if the kids were part of that. I know being a dad, it's pretty fun to ham it up, and I think you reach a certain point in life and you just, here I am, and I'm not afraid to put on a Mr. Incredible outfit.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. So
good stuff. Well, that kind of confidence, I wish more had it. I know I wish I was a little bit more confident on that. So again, I want to keep this short, so I'm going to end with one kind of crazy question. The people on the inside, maybe the upstairs crew, have talked a lot about a foot race. Is there ever going to be a famous foot race that we've heard about between you and Joe Wren?
I think Joe talks this up. He really does. But if there was a prime rib on the end at the finish line, I think I'd probably get him by a step or two. Whether we ever find that out, I don't know. But
what is keeping this from being settled?
I guess it's a two-way street. I don't know. We have to.
It's about to be a 4-lane street out front with a nice walking path that we could almost draw some lines on. Anyway, I'll keep it short.
I'll end with, I used to be a phenomenal athlete.
That's a good one. I want to open this up to our drivers watching. This is part 1. I'd like to do a part 2 next time with Russ. So we want to open it up for questions that you might have. Send them to Keith, give me a call, shoot me an email. Any kind of questions that you'd like to get to know Russ with that maybe you hadn't had a chance to ask him, fire away and we'll answer them on our next break check. So in conclusion, thanks Russ for doing this. Appreciate it. And, stay tuned for the next episode.